The students of public policy must understand how budgets are made, how budgets are allocated to various sectors, and how they are spent. And the budgetary allocations were very important during British India. They are very important up until now. The main characteristic of the budgetary allocations during British India was that they were highly low for most of the social sectors. For example, if we look at the budgetary allocations in British India, the largest current expenditure was on defense. It was 40%. It was so high because if you remember, the British government spent a lot of money on its army during World War One and World War Two. But since the size of the army was so big and the army was kept at various places to quash rebellions and to control populations, the size of the defense budget was so high. And if we look at the next category, more than 10% for was spent for police, jails, and courts. This also tells that since British government in India was concerned with establishing social control and maintain social order and controlling people, it was spending a lot of money on police and other controlling institutions like jails and courts. As a result, we see that between 1860 to 1947, there was very low rate of capital formation. It was just 1 to 1.5%. If you study economics, you would know that capital formation rate is very important indicator of economic growth. And the higher rates of capital growth are directly linked with economic growth, poverty reduction, and the higher standards of life. And since a lot of money in British India was allocated for non-productive and non-economic sectors, capital formation remained very low, and the post-colonial India and Pakistan could not form capital at a fast speed and could not undertake development at a faster pace because they had no productive capital uh, in post-colonial time. In 1936, this would be interesting for you that a lot of revenues in British India were coming from agriculture because land was the main capital resource during British India and main source of productivity. British government allocated only less than 3% of the national income for agriculture. So, although it was extracting revenues and benefits from agriculture sector, but it was not allocating enough money to promote agriculture or to develop agriculture. And as a result, we see there are famines in British India, and there is so much poverty in among peasants in British India, and we also witness lower levels of agricultural productivity in post-colonial times. Uh, and if we look at the allocations to highly vital social sectors like education and health, it has never increased more than 1.5%. And this pattern continues in many ways up until now. And due to these lower budgetary allocations, the British promises of converting India into a progressive society and introducing modernity and modern life to India were not fulfilled.